What's going on, guys? Back at it again with another unboxing video here for you guys on the channel. This one in particular is actually on a credit union. For those of you guys who are followers of the channel, like and subscribe, by the way, if you guys are not already. But for those of you guys who are a follower of the channel, you guys probably already know that I'm a huge fan of USAA. I've been a fan and I've been banking with them for many years, since I joined the military, as a matter of fact, many years ago. And now I'm hopping over to one of their biggest rivals. Of course, that is Navy Federal Credit Union. You're probably asking yourself why I decided to create an account with Navy Federal Credit Union, and long story short is just basically just to create a relationship, a banking relationship with Navy Federal Credit Union, so that whenever I decide to open up a credit card through Navy Federal, that relationship has already been established, therefore making it easier to not just get the credit card that I want, but also have potentially higher credit limits on those cards. But that's gonna basically do it for the explanation on why I decided to join Navy Federal Credit Union. A little bit background about me: I am a U.S. Army veteran, retired medically, of course, out of the Army, and that is why I'm eligible to join Navy Federal. But I have the card right here in this envelope. As you can see, it's already been opened, mainly because I had to block off some sensitive information for obvious reasons, of course. But before I get into the actual unboxing itself, let's go over to the website and see some of the benefits of the banking solution itself. So first things first, I want to say really quick that I initially wanted to get the flagship checking, but when I was applying, for some strange reason, I applied for the flagship checking, but there was a little waiting period while they validated my credentials or eligibility of being able to join Navy Federal. And long story short, when I got the approval back and I logged into my account, I came to find out I actually had the free active duty checking account and not the flagship. Luckily for me, I am actually able to switch my account type with just a few buttons. So I do plan on doing that probably as soon as I get off or I stop recording here. I'll probably switch over to that account because I don't want the free active duty checking, even though it's a completely free account. I want the flagship checking for the maximum relationship status. Of course, I already transferred $1,500 into the checking, and I also created a savings account, which I have $500 in there. We'll get into why I put $1,500 into the checking though here in a second. But if you see right here, included with all Navy Federal Credit Union checking accounts, you have Navy Federal's debit card with zero liability protection. That's this right here. Access to over 30,000 ATMs throughout the United States and Canada. Checking protection options, no monthly service fees with dividends, which is one of the biggest things, the selling points for this. We'll get into that here in a second when we check out the two account types, because I do want to show you the one I opened and the one that I plan to switch to. Digital banking, mobile deposits, and free traditional name checks only with easy ordering online. So these two right here obviously should be kind of like an obvious thing for checking in 2023, of course. But the account that I opened is especially for military, active duty, retired, or reservist. Of course, I qualified because I'm the retired military for the active duty checking. In terms of the features for this account, ATM fee rebates for up to $240 per year. That I believe equals out, if my math is correct, I'm not a mathematician, of course, but I think that's like $20 per month that you'll be able to get if you are a ATM user frequently. Access to military pay with direct deposit, I believe, or early access to military, I believe, is 2 days early, like a lot of other banks. No monthly service fees. This is actually a free account. No minimum balance requirements. Free personalized checks. Best for active duty, reservist, or retired. Again, this is where I qualify. In terms of the APY for this account is a flat 0.05 APY and or dividend rate, which is good. They'll be paying you that much for your sitting cash, which is great. The account that I want, however, is the flagship checking account, which I'm going to be getting right after this. It's higher balance, higher dividends. Of course, that says everything you need to know right there in terms of what this account is for. earn more money on your money. The higher your balance, the greater your dividends, plus you'll get back up to $120 a year in ATM fees. That of course is half of the other account, so it ends up being about $10 per month. The features of this account is tiered dividends based on the balance earn dividends with a daily ending balance of at least $1,500. So that's why I put in $1,500, and we'll get into that here in a couple seconds. But ATM fee rebates of up to $120. That's, like I said, $10 each month. No monthly service fee if the average daily balance is $1,500 or more. $10 if less than $1,500. So the reason I put in $1,500 is because I want the account to be free, essentially, because if you have anything less than $1,500, well, lo and behold, you're going to be charged a monthly service fee of $10, right? And I want to avoid those fees, so of course I deposited $1,500. Best for higher account balances. Full disclosure, I won't be getting the full benefits of this because, again, I only deposited $1,500. But with that being said, let's go ahead into the tier system. $0 to $9,999 will give you a 0.35% APY, which again, it's higher than the national average, great and everything, but it's nothing to scream at the top of your lungs for. There's a lot of other options out there with much higher APYs on your sitting cash, of course. The second tier is $10,000 to $24,999 with a 0.40% APY, and lastly, $25,000 and over will get you a 0.45. So if it's not already obvious, it's a 0.05% difference between the three tiers. So 0.35, 0.40, and 0.45. These are great accounts, guys, so it's definitely something to look into if it's something you guys are interested in, and of course eligible to join. Again, you have to be a service member or directly affiliated with somebody who is or was a service member. But with that being said, enough yapping with the whole website thing. This is just a quick overview anyways, it's not really a full review, but let's go ahead and what you guys are wanting to see, and that is the actual unboxing of the debit card itself. So first things first, going into the envelope itself, there's not a lot of stuff if you guys can see. The first thing you see is the debit card itself. We will get into that in 1 second, because the first thing past that, of course, is the Navy Federal disclosure agreements for the debit card, which essentially is just a ton of words that mean a lot, but I'm not gonna read here on the channel for obvious reasons. We'll be here all day, of course. But now we get to go into the debit card itself, and here it is. It looks like that. Something to look into. Looks like that only because I actually have my numbers covered, because I'm not gonna show you that, of course. But that's the debit card itself. And of course, I have this right here blocked off only because the raised numbers on the card itself bled through the paper and you can actually see. So I blocked it off. There's really nothing there anyways. So let's go ahead and remove the card so that we can see it. We'll actually remove the white label as well so we can see what the card looks like in all of its glory. And here it is, guys. The debit card by Navy Federal Credit Union. I gotta say, it looks great. I'm not a huge fan of the color red, so that's a deal breaker for me personally, but the card itself, the card design itself looks absolutely fantastic. As you can see, there's that little world area. It just looks fantastic. I don't want to describe it. You guys can see it here, of course, and it looks fantastic. Tap to pay, everything, all the basics that you need for your debit card is here, plus that $10, well, currently I have that $20 per statement period, but right after I'm done recording, I'm gonna go down to the $10 per statement balance rebates for ATM fees, of course, but that's neither here nor there. I don't pull out a lot of cash anyway, so that $10 versus $20 really is irrelevant for me anyways. I maybe pull out cash once every like 6 months or so for, you know, hand-to-hand, you know, purchases, secondhand people and stuff like that, or even parking fees in some situations. But that's basically all I, you know, withdraw cash for. Really, it's not very often. But that's basically everything that we need to know for in just a quick little overview. It's not a review, it's just something to keep in mind, guys. If you guys want a full review of the banking solution, let me know down in the comment section. We'll definitely hop into that at some point in the future if that's something you guys would want to see. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. Also subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, because it really does help this channel grow. So with that being said, catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.